Alright, no big trip, so we have time. I wasn't gonna go anyway. Screw going up there to North Country. North Country sucks. Started taking our ghetto wagon apart. Starting to stall. I'm still wondering about it. Why is it starting to stall? And what the hell's that growing in there? Why is that in there? What is that? It's like a mud nest. Alright, so anyway, starting to stall. So we take out this EGR valve. I thought I had a positive one. I actually bought a positive one. This is a negative though. You see the last letter is an N. If the last letter was a P, it'd be a positive. I guess this is a negative one. I thought there's a positive on this car. Should check what the pickup has. I was looking at this EGR valve thinking maybe when it's hot, maybe when it stalls out, the EGR just sticks open like it's not closing. I don't know. It kind of looked that way, like there's a little bit of carbon in it, and I've sprayed it with some brake cleaner, and I depress it with my fingers, and it does move a decent amount better. Before it was very hard to push, now it's a lot easier. It has a spring sound though, I don't really like that too much. Not liking the spring sound it has. And then I was thinking, it has like these little Torx heads in there, but you're never going to be able to get those out to take the whole shit apart. Oh, then you gotta unfold all this, and then you can probably take it apart. Screw that. It's not very old. Can't even get EGR valves anymore. Everything's made in China. Globalization of America. But anyway, we're gonna keep on cleaning these ports. We're gonna clean the port and the intake manifold, and we're gonna have to see what happens. One port is fresh air, the other port's exhaust. That's how it is on this. And the EGR port's like right about here, and on the other side in the head, but only uses this side. That side is closed off, but obviously they use the same cylinder head. It's just flipped around, so it has the same port. It's just blocked off, but the intake. So we're gonna clean all that shit out. Probably a little shop back action, and see what happens. Maybe nothing will happen, but it's a thing that we scratched off the list on why it might stall out when it is warm. Oh, that's where that brace goes in the front over there. We have a bunch of those engine braces. I see another one in the back over here. Interesting. Okay, that's it. EGR valve, easy. Don't drop the little half-inch nuts. They always go flying. And put anti-seize on them. I didn't do it, and makes them a pain in the ass to come off. Let's see how the EGR valve works in this model. This is the fresh air. This is the exhaust side. And basically it's just vacuum controlled, so when the solenoid opens, it's just a switching valve. You know, you always have engine vacuum, and it just switches to allow vacuum and closes to release the vacuum. But what it does is when it pulls vacuum, it pushes on this plate. It's real hard to do with one hand. See the valve going down? That's allowing exhaust through this port to enter the intake through there, and then you let go, it closes. And you could also put your finger on it. This is kind of a ghetto test. You can push down on it. You push down on it if you don't have a vacuum tester. Push down the diaphragm, put your thumb over it. If it holds, you know the diaphragm's good, and then when you let go, it will release. Because you can control it like that. And that indicates that it's sealing well, because there's a little diaphragm that goes all around it. Sometimes it rips, and then the EGR valve will not work, or you just get a huge vacuum leak when it commands vacuum through that port. But we cleaned it up. It could have been a little dirty in there. I don't know. Definitely operating better. You know, it does sit around. This obviously could be a probable cause of an engine stalling out when it's cold, if the EGR valve is not sealing all the way. There it is there. You hear the vacuum. If you were to pump it up though with a little hand vacuum pump, it will. This diaphragm will suck back on you. But I don't have that in my collection. Well, it looks pretty good cleaned up. I think it's okay. Throw it back on, I guess. Clean the ports. The ports weren't that bad. Those EGR ports, they do clog up on those TBI cars and trucks. But I had this intake off. I took off all these intakes. It was like an intake marathon. This one, the trucks, many like 10 years ago. So they were all leaking oil and stuff. And we cleaned out this one pretty good. So there it is, EGR valve. Put anti-seize on those posts over there. They come out too, they're just Torxes. And always check that gasket. When the gasket gets bad, you actually could get a vacuum leak over there when the gasket's bad. Should probably put a new gasket on, but gotta get someone to hoard the new gasket. That's it though, throttle body injection. And what the heck is that in there? I don't know. Another tip, if you think that port is clogged, put like shop air through the intake side and see if it comes out through the throttle body, and then put it through the other hole and see if you hear it coming out of the exhaust. And then if you don't hear that, you know it's clogged. If you hear it coming out of both sides, you know you're good. See, watch, I pushed it back. I'm holding it. See it move? Not doing it again, it's hard. I also took a vacuum. You can check if it's sealing well. You can put vacuum on this side, like with the vacuum cleaner, and then push on it. And you'll hear it hissing, and then you'll release that. You shouldn't have any vacuum coming out of the exhaust side. And this one does indeed work good. So again, this is shop vac. Instead of having a fancy vacuum, you can test it. Definitely better since we cleaned it. I'm thinking maybe some little pieces were in there. It definitely did not operate as smooth as it does now. It operates much better. We'll see. Aw, man, why does it look wet over there? See it? Water pump? Maybe the gasket's leaking. If not, maybe the actual whole housing gasket is leaking. That sucks.